Hi friends, today welcome to the next series. So today we are going to discuss some other few simple programs in JavaScript. So in the last video you have seen how we are going to add two numbers by using the JavaScript. Today let us try to enhance that same program. Instead of just trying to add two numbers, we'll try to perform other basic mathematical functions also. Okay, so let us start. So we will start by writing our we'll go to the body tag and let us design what we want in our HTML. So let us say that we need a label like enter the first number, and we are going to have an text box, right? So where you are going to enter the first number, so then enter the second number, another text box or input box. So later then we'll have a button, so where you have got add, subtract, multiply, division. So whenever I click on that, I have to get the result. So this is how we have planned to do it. So now let us start with the para tag. So we will take the first para, so we'll give the ID for that particular para. Let us give an ID for this as input. Input is our ID. So now what we want, enter first number, right? So then we'll put input, and ID for this is equal to, let us say, the first number or 1 we are trying to give it as our ID, and we'll use a break tag. So we'll break, that means we'll come to the next line. Now we want enter second number, right? So again we'll use input, ID is equal to, let us give 2 is the second number we are going to accept. So now these are the two things what we have done. So let us try to save this program and let's try to open it with our live server. Let us see what is actually coming on our screen. So we should have enter first number, enter second number, and we should have two boxes wherein which you are going to enter the number. So you can see here, so we have enter the first number and enter the second number, and you can see there are some, these two text box are one of the above, so it is not been properly, there is no space. Now what we will do, we will add another break, br, right? Yes, perfectly. So now we are getting some space here. So now this is what, and is been displayed. So now we want a button. So we'll take another para tag p, that is, sorry, paragraph, and we'll go with a button. So we are going to insert now in this button. So when you click on that button, so we'll have a JavaScript on click. So we'll write a function, right? So we are going to define a function later which is going to perform certain action. So on the caption of that particular button, so we'll say what we want to add, subtract, multiply, and division. So we are going to perform all these things, right? So now let us see. So this is how you are going to get. So you are going to enter first number, you are going to enter second number. When you click on this, addition result has to come, subtraction result, multiplication, division, all the four operation result has to come one after the other. This is how we have planned to implement, right? So now these two things are over. So now we want to display all those results. So we'll take another p tag. Let us give the ID for this as result, right? We want to display the result. Now we want to hide this, we want to hide this tag only after clicking that button. I want the result, before that I don't want all those things. So we'll use the style tag, right? CSS style we are going to use, like in our previous program, style display. So now what is the property we are going to set for the display? None. N-O-N-E. So we are going to set it as none. So now what we want, addition addition result, right? Addition result. Now what should be the our addition result? Now we are going to display that particular addition result. So now to display this addition result, or addition result is equal to, now we will use a box input, right? And ID we will give equal to, let us say, add. So we are giving an ID add for this. After this we will put a break tag, right? So now this is what we are going to hide it, right? Now if you just save it and check what you are going to see, the same thing, there is no changes. If you are not setting this property, let me delete this and run the program. Now you can see you are going to have addition result, right? But we don't want right now to display this. After entering two numbers, and when I click on this button, then all these things has to come. So that is why we are setting the style property display equal to none. Now this is one is over for us. Now like this, another three operations are there. So what I will do, we'll just copy this, four. So we totally 4 operations we are performing. Right, so all are results. Now the second one is subtraction. What is the result of our subtraction? Then multiplication, and last one is division operation. Division result equal to, right? We'll change the ID because ID should be unique. So for subtraction we'll use SUB, and for multiplication MUL, and for division DIV. ID we have given 3 different ID, right? Or so now these are the things, the designing in the body tag we have done. Now we have to go and define the functions. We are going to write the script for this. So we have defined here, as soon as I click on the button, I am going to call this function. Now apart from that, whatever these two numbers we are going to put in the text box in the ID 1 and 2, we have to accept those two numbers also. So now we will define our script tag, right? So what are the variables we need? So we are going to declare a variable a, b, and let us say result, and we'll define one temporary variable also. So now we will start our functions. We'll write a function fun, the name of the function what we have used. Now what? Get the first number. So first number a is equal to parseInt, convert it into integer, whatever you are going to type, parseInt document dot get element by element ID. So what is the first number? ID we are given it as 1. So 1 dot value, VALUE, right? This is the first number what we are going to accept. So next, the second number we put that in B. So same, parseInt document dot get element by ID and ID TWO dot value. So now we have got the two numbers. So after getting two numbers, so now we will check if A and B. That means if that items are empty in the text box, if you are not given anything, so then you are going to check whether if the value is present in that particular text box. Just a simple if condition you are using, if A and B, if it is true. Now we are supposed to hide that result. So you know that in our design we have done 4 things: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now it has to be properly obtained, correct? So now each one, it has to be stored in our results, and that one has to be displayed. So now we'll start with we'll take a variable temp which we have defined. Now temp equal to document dot get element by id. First we'll use this id result, right? So in our particular id result, so now if you look here, so now the result id, now here I think we have done a mistake. Now because id should be unique, so you should have one particular id. Now instead of that, what we have done here is that we have created a different id for each one. So instead of that, we will put only one. See here our para tag is starting, right? So now our para tag is starting here. Now this para tag, first one, it is going to end here. Now the second, but for button, this para tag is going to end here. Now here what we are going to do is that p para id equal to result and style equal to display none. So now addition, let me bring it to the next line. Now addition result equal to input id add. After this, so now the next one from here we will delete. We will keep everything in a single para. So now we'll say addition subtraction result, then we'll bring multiplication result, and the last one division result. Now after this we are going to close our para. So anyhow para tag is closed here. Now you can see here you have opened the para and here you have closed the para. You have made everything as one, because at a time you want to get addition subtraction. As soon as you click on this button function, on click button, I should get all the results, not just addition only. I should get a result of adding two numbers, subtraction, multiplication, division, all four results I should get at a particular time. So that is why, so for all this we'll make one para and we'll give only one unique id as the result. So this id we are going to take here first, temp equal to get element by id, and we'll set the style property, right? So we're going to say temp dot display temp dot style dot display, right? Temp dot style dot display is equal to block. Block means we are making it visible. Now we will make this id visible, right? Now we have made that particular id visible. Now we'll find the result of first operation, a plus b. Addition is what? A plus b. So we add these two numbers. Now where we want this, now this result, addition of this result, it should be displayed here. That is why we have taken here an input box, addition result. In this particular, now this id is add, right? The result is present in where? In res. Now this res value, so we put that there. So what we are going to use, we are going to say document dot get element by id. So what is the id? Result. Now in this using what is this id? Add, right? This is the add. See here id what we are given, add, subtract, mul and div. In this add, in that, for that particular id dot value equal to, we are going to keep this, whatever the result of addition of two numbers you got, you put that here. So equal to, we are saying result. Now one thing is completed for us. Now let us see, let us try to save this program and we will see what actually we are going to get. So now enter the first number, we'll give you the number 10, we'll enter the second number. Now we'll click on this button. Now when you click as soon as we clicked on this particular button, now you can see addition result we got, but whereas subtraction is not there, multiplication is not there, division is not there, because we have not performed the operation only, right? Anyhow here each text box is lying one after the other, so we will just put another break br tag, so that we are. So now we performed only one particular addition, this one, that is why only one is coming. So now we will go with the subtraction. Now the subtraction means what? Now again we will take document, right? So document get element by ID. So now again here, now our ID is what? See here ID was add, now our ID should be subtract. So ID equal to sub dot value is equal to result. Now if this is executed, now in this result what is there? Still only a plus b is there, but we are telling subtraction. So what has to be done? Before using this line, you find result equal to a minus b. Now when you say result equal to resultant equal to a minus b, you have done the subtraction. The subtraction value is present in result. Now that you are going to put that that is document dot get element ID subtract. So which is our element ID? Subtract. That means in the second box now you are going to get your result. I think it is clear. Now let us see, are we going to get these things? Now we will just refresh this page. So now first number, second number, we will click on this. First number is 1, second number is 2, addition of these two is 3. When you do the subtraction, a minus b, 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So we got the subtraction. Now still two operation has to be done. One is multiplication and division. On the same basis we are going to do it. So next line, so what is your multiplication? Resultant equal to a into b, then document dot get element by ID multiplication dot value equal to result. The fourth one, res equal to a divided by b, document dot get element. As soon as you type the three words get, you can see here you are already, the function is available, the method is available for us. You can see get element by ID. No need to type everything. As soon as you get that, you take your cursor to that and just press or hit enter key. So automatically it comes. No need to type. If you start typing, you will be making spelling mistake. That is why we are using VS Code and IntelliJ, the editors we are going to use. So which really helps us to build these scripts or build the HTML pages very fast. Right? So now the last ID is division. So we'll say dot value is equal to result. Clear? So now this completes our this particular program. So now let us refresh this page. So let us give 2 and 2. So now you can see the addition is 4, subtraction is 0, multiplication is 2 into 2 is 4, and division result is 1. Clear? Now this is the program. Now what in the previous sessions we just added two numbers, but now we are trying to do all the different operations, addition, subtraction and multiplication. So I think this is very clear for us. So this was the program. Now we'll try to go into another program. Now let us say that you want to check whether a given number is an even number or an odd number, right? Another simple script we will write. So what is that? What we want to do, whether our given number is an even number or an odd number. You know the logic. You have to accept a number from the text box, right? You check if that particular number mod 2, that means integer division, after division whatever remainder you are going to get, if that is equal to 0, then it is an even number, otherwise it is an odd number. So now let us try to do this. So what is our program? We are going to check a number is even or odd. I am just giving title in this particular thing. So now we will come to the body part. Now how we want, So you want to enter a particular number. We will use a para tag. Write what? Enter a number. So we are going to enter a number, input id equal to num. So enter a number, input id equal to num. Next we will use a button. So button, now what you want, you are going to write a function which checks whether the number is odd or even number. Script you are going to write. So we on click. So you will go for an on click event, on click equal to. So now you are to write one function. So let us write a function name as fun. So now this is the function which you are going to write. So now on the caption will say you are going to check this, right? So now after this I have to display the result, whether the number is even number or an odd number. So we will define another para. Now we will give id for this para as para1, id equal to para1. So now we will use that property style. We will hide it. Once after clicking only we will try to unhide that or display that. So we will use the style tag. So style display none, right? So now what? Now we will display that the given number, the given number is, in this particular place the given number is odd or even we want to display. So right, we will use a span id equal to result, right, id equal to result, and your span and your paragraph. So now these things we are hiding. So now if you just execute this particular program, if you will refresh, so it is asking enter a number. Now here you are going to type a number and click the button. It has to display down whether this number is an even number or an odd number. So we have to write now the script. So we will use the script tag. So we need the variables. Now what are the variables? We are going to accept a number from the text box and we will say one temporary variable. We are going to write a function now. Name of the function is fun. So accept the number. So number equal to parse int. So convert it into an integer. Document dot get element by id. So what is that id you have used? The number dot value. So you have got the first number. So if that number, if the condition is true, so now what we are going to do? So we'll say temp equal to document dot get element by id. So what is our id? Para1, right? This is the id. See, this we have hidden. Right now we have hidden this. So when you have executed this, it is not showing the given number is right now. We have hidden that. But so what is that id we have given? Para1. So we will get that id first in a variable called as temp. That is temp equal to document dot get element id of para1. Now we will set the property. So temp, change the style. So here we had made style as none. Style equal to display none. Now we will make it as block. So temp dot style dot display is equal to block. Now I will unhide it. So we will unhide that thing. So after unhiding, now we want to display the result. Now you want to check whether this number is even number or odd number. So simple logic, as you already know, you take this number, right, mod 2, if it is equal to 0, you want to display it as even number. You are going to display it as an even number. So where you are going to use to display? So you are going to say document dot get element by id. So id is result Now since here we are using span, we are not using any text box. If you are using a text box, input button, if input tag if you have used, then value you are going to assign, but here we have used the span, so we will use dot inner HTML is equal to, since if the remainder is equal to 0, it is an even number, so we will assign even. So we will just type even, right? Else, now else it is what? If it is not, if the remainder not equal to 0, it is an odd number. So we'll say document dot get element by id result dot inner HTML is equal to odd. Clear? So now let us check this program. So we'll refresh, save the program and refresh. Enter a number. I'll give 12. I'll click on the command button, or sorry, click on this button. So what is the result we got? The given number is even, right? It is an even. So refresh this. Let us give an odd number. Click on this. The given number is odd. Clear? This is another simple script what we have written to check whether a given number is even number or an odd number. So as I told that now once you got this output, this is just functionality we are trying to see. Now it is left to you people to color it, so make it more interactive by changing the background color, putting that in a table format, all those things, other things you can, what all the tags you have learned, you try to incorporate all these tags and make it more look and feel, you can increase. Now this is another simple script what we have written, so to check whether a number is an even number or an odd number. So again you can just see what we have done. In body tag p, enter a number, input id equal to num. We have created a button, on click, written a JavaScript function, and when you click on this function has to execute, and we have made another paragraph, id para1. We are hiding this by using this CSS style property, style display equal to none, and the given number is, we are using a span, and id here we are given result res. So when you look into this particular function, get the value, parse it to an integer, and since here you have made it as none, you make it as visible, that is get the parse, that is para1 id into temp, change its style dot display to block. Now you take that number, divide it by 2, integer division, check its remainder. If the remainder is equal to 0, document dot get element id result dot inner HTML equal to even, else off. Clear? So this was one of the simple script. I think it is very clear. You have to practice it. Now let us take another simple example. Let us say that you want to find sum of n natural numbers, right? So now let us try to look into this particular program, how we are going to find the sum of n natural numbers. Okay, so now you want to write the or display the sum of n natural numbers. Now let us straight away, without any designing anything in our body tag, let us just directly write a scripting. Let us come to our script. So we'll use the script tag. Now how do you find the sum of n natural numbers, right? So we'll take one variable I, because we want to find the sum of n natural numbers. That is, if you give a number 5, so you should display 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So how much you are going to get? So obviously we need to use the for loop. So with this program we will see how we are going to use our for loop. So we will take a variable I. Now how many numbers? N is used for taking a number. Let us say I will assign n by default as 5, and sum will take a variable. Initially we are assigning it to 0. So now we will take an array, right? So I am going to declare an array here. I will use a variable arr is equal to new array. right? So now this is an array length. Now you have to specify what is this length. Now what all the numbers you are going to take here, what all the numbers, right? So now you have taken n equal to 5, so that means you are going to take here 5 numbers. So let me give that numbers in that array: 1 2 3 4 and 5. So we have by default we have taken that. Now you want to add the sum of only these 5 numbers: 1 2 3 4 5. Now we'll use a for loop. So for I equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. For I equal to 0, I less than 5 and I plus plus. So sum is equal to sum plus I, not I. Sum plus I means you are adding the 0 1 2 3, but you want to add the elements inside this array. So you will say sum equal to sum plus, what is the name of the array? ARR square bracket I. Just like in Java, how we are using the name of the array inside the square bracket subscript. So you are going to say I. So first I equal to 0. So that means A of 0. What is A of 0? 1. In A of 0 you have got 1. So you will take 1, put that in sum. Initially sum is 0. So what happens? So sum equal to 0 plus 1, 1. So next I becomes 1. I is incremented to 1. You go to the second element in your array. So like this you keep on adding until I is less than 5. That means array starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. You are going to add 4, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, right? Now let us save this program and let us run this program. Nothing is been displayed because we are not given what to display. We have found the result, but that result has to be displayed, right? So we'll say document dot write. So what you are going to write? The value of sum. Just document dot sum. You got 15. So what is the value of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5? The total is 15, right? So if you just say sum or some result equal to plus sum, we are going to get result equal to 1. But when you see that this particular number or the logic what we have used, this is just to demonstrate how you are going to take an array and how actually the sum of n numbers you are going to do it. But when you look here, we don't feel that this particular program is once again interactive for us, right? Because you are not accepting any value from the keyboard. By default, what the program is doing, every time when you run, only it is finding the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, because these are the elements what you are given in your input. Now if you want to find the sum of n natural numbers, now if you give like say 6, now you want to find the sum of first 10 natural numbers. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 etc. up to that. So that the sum of n natural number, the n value, you are going to accept it from the keyboard, right? That is from the box, and you are going to process. Now we will try to modify this particular program, right? So we will delete this script whatever we have written right now. So again we'll come back to our structure. Now we will try to use some tables. So already you have worked with the table. Now we'll try to use the table tag in our body, right? In the previous programs we have not used that. So now we will try to use the table tag in our body. So we'll use a table, and you know that in table you will be having table row, right? So you have got table row, then you have got table description. Table row and table description. So in table description now, so we will put input type equal to text, name equal to, let us say A, ID equal to first, and we'll use place holder is equal to enter a number. This is table description is being completed, right? So now let us see what you are going to get by typing this line. Now actually now what has happened here is that now we have got a table. So now you see that in many of the website you will be seeing enter the password. So nothing is there. Now you can see here inside this it is coming. So when you click on this, here you are going to type the number. It goes off. In various website you might have seen enter user ID, enter password. Inside our text box it is coming. Now how you are going to get this? So we have put this box inside a particular table so that formatting can be done in a more better manner. Now that is used with this property which is the tag which you are going to use, placeholder. Inside that placeholder you are trying to give. Now say that if you try to remove this placeholder, you got just a text box, nothing is there. Now how the user will come to know what to do in this? Either you have to put one label outside. Now that was the same thing what we are doing in our previous program. Now we have tried to see that now what is the meaning of this particular placeholder. Now I think it is very clear. So many of the times if you need to make it more interactive, now you can use a placeholder. Now whatever you are giving in this placeholder, it is displayed in this, right? So in this input button, and we have used a name as A and ID as first. So now this is one table description what we have given. So we'll close here table row. Now we'll go with another table row. So we'll use another table row. Now in the second row we'll go with a table description. Now here now we are going to add a button. We'll add a button tag. Now on the button tag we will go with on click event. We'll write a function. We want to find the sum of n natural numbers. On click function submit. You enter a number and click on the submit button, right? So now this is our table is been completed. So now we'll use a division tag also. So we'll say division ID equal to, we'll give an ID for this, we'll give an ID as number, right? Now let us see the output what we are getting. So now this is how we designed it. So it is saying enter a number. We have to enter one number. When I click on this submit button, it should display me the sum of that n number, what n, the n number by what we have displayed here. So now here, now to do this we have put that in a table. So like this, it is coming. That means the formatting thing, when you give it a table in each column, each row, what? So that is the reason why we have taken the table tags also. In table tags also you can put the text box, command button. In the previous programs we are not used. Simply we are just trying to put the tags, HTML tags. So now we can try to go with our scripting function. So we will use our script command. So script. So now we want to display the function, right? We are going to call a function. So what is the name of the function? Sum. We will declare some variables I, n, and initially some value is 0. We'll take the number. So n is equal to parse int document dot get element by id. So what is our id? First id we have given first dot value. So you got your first number. So we'll use a for loop. Now for I equal to 0, I is less than n, that is the number what we have accepted, and I plus plus. So what you do? Sum equal to sum plus I. Sum is equal to sum plus I. So it completely gives us. So now you are going to display these values. Clear? So you are going to display the value. So what we have done? So we have used a for loop. So for I equal to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus. So sum equal to sum plus I. So now we got that result. So now you want to display that. So where you are going to display? So now you see that in this particular program, in our body, so what we have done? So we have taken the table, and we have not taken any button or a paragraph wherein which we are displaying the result like in the previous program. So now, so we will just use document dot get element by id. Now what is that id? Where you want to display? So you know the result right now it is in our sum, but now you can see that we have added one line here, division, right? So we have used a tag, I think div, typing mistake. So now we have used a division tag here. So previous program we have used a span, now we have used a division element, right? Now it is one type of the represent the child form tag within our class or long, like our division div tag or span tag. Now for this div tag we have given the id as num. So now this is important. In this place we want the result of this. So we will take document dot get element by id num, right, dot inner dot html is equal to, now we are going to display. So we will just say sum of plus n, that is the n what we have given. So again double quotation, the sum of n natural numbers is equal to, again we'll add plus. So what is the result? Where it is stored? It is stored in sum and with semicolon. So what we are given? So this is just to display. So sum of n, here our n value you are going to get. What is the input you are given? So sum of that number, natural number, is equal to, right? So let us save this and let us execute. Okay, so we will give a number 5. We click on submit button. So we got our result. So sum of 5, this 5 we have given, sum of 5 natural numbers is equal to 10, right? Now this is another simple scripting program, now where we have used how we are going to find the sum of n natural numbers. Clear? So now compared to our previous program, now here little bit changed. So we have used the table tag, we have used the row description. Inside the table description we have tried to put, and also another thing we have learned. So we have learned what is the meaning of placeholder, how you are going to use that placeholder, right? So every program, the simple programs what you have seen, each programs are different. That means to say that it doesn't means to say that the idea is to find the sum of n natural numbers in our body we have to use table only. It's not a rule, right? So you can use like our previous program, take one input, take a text box, like you just put that result in that also, that's also fine. But only thing is to learn different methods. Now we have used this. So in this session again we have discussed some of the simple programs. So in our next videos we'll try to look into some other simple scripting programs and try to learn some different new tags, such that so later on we'll go with our lab exercises. So I hope you are just following this. Try to practice this program so that it will be easy for us. It becomes a footstep for us to work with the actual lab programs. So thank you very much for your patience listening. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.